Did you know you do not have to count calories, weigh and measure every single little crumb that goes into your mouth, and spend all day scanning barcodes in order to get the results you want? Yes, that is definitely one way, and a lot of people see success doing that. But a lot of times when I've worked with my clients, they just do not have the time to sit there and scan everything. And I totally get it. And guess what? You don't have to. And so in this presentation, I am going to show you an alternative way to still get the results you want and not have to sit there and spend so much time counting your calories and using an app to scan everything in. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about how to plate your food, set you up for success, help you reach your goals. All right, first we're going to take your plate. We're going to divide it into 3 sections. I want you to think 9 o'clock and 9:20. Those are the lines that we're going to use, and I'm going to show you what goes in each section. So, biggest section, no surprise, fibers, veggies. We love fiber. We're trying to get 7 to 8 grams of fiber per meal. This is what's really going to help you get that total fiber throughout the day. Fiber is going to help slow down the digestion of food. It's going to help balance your hormones, balance your blood sugar, and it just helps keep you full. And it's so great for your digestive system. So we're thinking water-rich vegetables, things that are low in calorie that you can, fill almost half your plate up with vegetables. So cucumbers, lettuce, romaine, spinach, kale, bell peppers, green beans, whatever it is that you like, fill up half of your plate with that. Okay, moving on to protein. And we want to focus on lean proteins. So thinking like chicken breast, chicken tenderloins, eggs, ground turkey, along those lines. Now, this doesn't mean you can't ever have red meat. We have red meat about once a week. You just have to pay attention to the fat content, basically, and balance that out with everything else, which we will get to the fat. But for the most part, focusing on our lean protein for just a little bit more than quarter of the plate. Next section is our starchy carbs. So this is where we're thinking oatmeal, rice, quinoa, whole wheat bread, pastas, our sweet potatoes, some of those more satisfying foods that we love. That's going to take up a quarter of our plate. And then to finish off, we want to sprinkle a little bit of fat all over. So typically we're looking for 10 to 15 grams of fat per meal. That would be about the size of your thumb if you were using your hand to help you measure. So think about cooking your fibrous veggies in olive oil, sauteing them on the stove, or maybe you're going to put a little bit of butter on top of your sweet potato for your starchy carb. And then, of course, depending on your protein, there's definitely going to be some fat in there, but we do want some fat. Fat helps food feel more satisfying and it helps fill us up and, keeps us full. So, some issues we come into when we're looking at this is really just keeping track of your portions. It can be really easy to overdo it with the starchy carbs. Yes, we definitely want to have carbs. Carbs are so important. Your body loves carbs as its main energy source. It's so good for your muscles, but we're talking about a quarter of the plate for your starchy carb. So what I want you to think about is if you cup your hand, that would be what would fit in your cupped hand, or about half a cup. So, for example, if you are having spaghetti for dinner, you're not going to fill up your entire plate with a huge amount of pasta. Then put, maybe you have some marinara sauce with some ground turkey, which is all good, and a little tiny bit of vegetables on the side. Like, you got to shift the way you're thinking. We want to fill up most of the plate with the vegetables on the side. You're going to have that quarter portion for the pasta, and then you can be generous with that sauce, with that ground turkey, maybe sprinkling a little bit of cheese on top, and then having a little bit of dressing, maybe if you have salad on the side. So that's how that would look. Or you could literally do like a chicken breast, broccoli, cauliflower, some mixed vegetables, carrots, and then like a sweet potato with some butter on top, right? Like you could literally like separate it like that, but you definitely can like mix it together. You just have to be mindful of your portions. So this is a great way to eat every single meal, especially if your goal is fat loss. Your meal should keep you full 3 to 4 hours. You may need a snack in there. I definitely need an afternoon snack. So your snacks, you're going to focus more on protein and those fibrous veggies to help tide you over till your next meal. Now, if your goal, maybe it's not fat loss, maybe your goal is recomposition, which is where you're trying to increase muscle tone and maybe just lose those last 5 to 10 pounds, but your focus has shifted. Or maybe your goal is muscle gain, or you're into endurance, like you're training for a marathon, half marathon, or a triathlon, something like that, then this is how you are going to want to plate your food. We're just switching the fibrous veggies and the starchy carb section. So now your biggest section is that starchy carb because your energy demand has gone up. Like if you're training like an athlete and you're working out really, really hard, you are going to need more of those starchy carbs to help fuel your muscle and make sure you're getting enough energy to help make sure you're reaching your goals. Like I said, muscles love carbs. They need that energy. So if your goal is muscle gain, you got to eat a little bit more of those starchy carbs. And then our fibrous veggies gets cut a little bit short. Protein stays the same and still that sprinkle of fat throughout. If you have any questions about this, feel free to send me an email at coaching@jodythornock.com. Or maybe you are interested in trying out calories and macros, or you're just kind of curious to see what would be right for you and your goals. I am happy to help calculate that out for you. Again, just send me an email and let's connect. I have a few questions I just need to add because that is a little bit more personalized depending on what your goals are, your age, your weight and height, and that kind of stuff. So questions, send me an email, coaching@jodythornock.com. I am here to support you 100% of the way. You are amazing. Get out there and live the life you want.